Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Karen Morad, who is with RadNet. And, Karen, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
You did.
Oh,
yes,
thank
you
goodness.
did.
Thank goodness. Well, gosh, what's going on? How are you doing?
You know what? We're doing well. Hello, Laguna Woods. We miss you guys. We haven't seen you in a while. So a lot's been happening in the world, and we're really thankful for you guys having us on your show. So
well, thanks for
you,
joining
Lisa.
us. And I know things have changed quite a bit, and then we are starting to reopen some things now. But there's a lot of things that go into reopening these days because we have to sanitize and do all this stuff. But before we go into some of the things that you guys have been doing, talk to me a little bit about what essential imaging is and why it's important for us to do it.
So essential imaging is as it sounds. I mean, it's an integral and an important part of a person's health care.
Mm-hmm.
We consider ourselves frontline. What that means is that just because there's this pandemic, and I'm not lessening it in any way, shape, or form, but the reality is that a person's health is absolutely mandatory and necessary. People need to come in. People need to have their CT scans done, their MRIs, their screening mammograms, their ultrasounds, their PET scans. They should not delay anything that's needed for patient care.
Right. And I know that a lot of people have really been taking a back step to some of those essential things because they're frightened out of their mind, thinking that if they go to these places, they're going to catch COVID-19. And you're not the first person that we've talked to regarding this, because there's other doctors and hospitals who are like, well, nobody's coming in for heart attacks. They're not coming in for all these other things. So what then, and then also yearly exams too, have a lot of those fallen off?
Actually, yes, they have, Lisa. A lot of women are hearing from different organizations or social media or whatever the case may be that, oh, we should wait. We shouldn't have our screening mammogram done. We shouldn't have that breast MRI that we were asked to go back for in 6 months. And unfortunately, we're finding that while people are waiting, some of these cancers are being detected, and some of them even more aggressive. So that's the flip side of things. So we don't want those numbers to increase. We want to, our whole system should be around early detection, coming in, early diagnosis, taking care of your health, taking charge of your health. Mm-hmm. And we don't want a cancer to be put off, and then they're in a worse situation than they started with.
Right, exactly.
And so that's what we're finding. On the flip side, we do want people to know that we are taking strict measures, including following CDC protocols. And that involves sanitizing, cleaning, disinfecting between every patient before and after, cleaning highly touched areas. Our employees are wearing what they call PPE, which are the gloves, the masks, the gowns. And we ask each patient who comes in to wear a mask as well. And if they don't have one, we'll provide them with one.
Okay, well, that's good. That's really good. Have you been open this entire time or by appointment only, or how has it been working?
So I'm proud to say we have remained open, and we continue to remain open during this period of time. There's been maybe a couple centers that have changed some of their hours so that we can accommodate all volumes throughout our Orange County area. Mm-hmm. For example, for the Laguna Woods population, it's the Saddleback Valley Imaging Center that is open and providing a complete gamut of services from early in the morning till later in the evening.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good to know. So they still can go. Can they, you said the one facility, are there other facilities opened around here as well?
There are a number of centers open. OC Diagnostics is temporarily closed at this period of time, but will reopen.
All right.
So Saddleback Valley Imaging would be the closest location. Okay. We obviously have our Santa Ana locations, our Irvine locations, Orange, throughout all of Orange County, Newport Beach, all are open.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's good to know. And so for whatever facility that they want to go to, they should just contact them and make sure that the hours are what they're looking for. right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And I know that you're going to post that, but our contact information, our scheduling phone number, our site phone numbers, and even the website that they can go to if they want to schedule online.
Okay, perfect. So there's lots of resources for them. So when we
Correct.
talk about, outpatient imaging services and, urgent care imaging, what are we talking about? I mean, obviously what you mentioned earlier was all about detecting, early detection, early prevention, things like that. But gosh, if somebody was to find something today, what do they do?
Right. So that's a good question. So, what is the protocol? Does a person just come in and, okay, they get a diagnosis and they say, no, I'm going to wait?
Mhm.
Or do they, continue to contact their physician and have that dialogue? Well, from a physician's perspective, I know a lot of them are doing and offering telemedicine.
Yeah.
Some of them are offering telemedicine so they can provide virtual exams and they can keep the continuity of healthcare going, the healthcare delivery system. A patient shouldn't have to wait. A patient shouldn't have to put off a chronic illness or disease. We as an imaging center are open to do whatever we need to. So there's a diagnosis, we can help with whatever the physician needs to continue his care.
Okay.
So we work closely with urgent care centers, and we've actually made commitments to some of our local hospitals, including Memorial Healthcare, where we're like, we want to be there for you guys. We will continue our outpatient imaging services so that you as the hospital can focus on what's going on from an inpatient perspective.
Oh, well, that's
And
excellent. That's good to
and
know because, like we talked about earlier, is that people were afraid to go, but if they don't have to go to the hospital, that's probably a better situation for them at this point, and rather go to your center because you're not going to have necessarily people who have the disease or virus.
exactly. And that's why our commitment to them is such. We have a very good relationship with Memorial. They're one of our partners. And from the very start of this whole pandemic, we have committed this and made this promise to them. One of the other things I wanted to bring up is we offer what we call a virtual waiting room. So if you schedule your appointment and you get there, there's a phone number that you would text, and you would basically say, I'm here, my paperwork's done. We say, wait in your car or wait outside, and we'll let you know when to come in. That way you retain social distancing with those around you, and you have privacy. And once we're ready for you, we take you back.
That's great. I mean, that's some of the things that I think a lot of people have to put into place. Many places did shut down and weren't fortunate enough like you to be able to stay open. So they had to reopen in a totally different manner. And maybe you might even have to make adjustments as well. Like, for instance, I know you said that you have gloves or you have the PPEs and that type of thing. Did you make any other modifications? For instance, people are talking about putting plexiglass and stuff up on the welcoming areas. Did you guys do that, or is that something you don't think is necessary?
Actually, we are in the process of doing that at our centers.
Okay.
So we're putting the plexiglass up.
Okay.
For some of the procedures that are a little more invasive, some of the interventional procedures, and
Mhm.
even to a degree, some of the mammograms and ultrasounds, our techs are wearing the full shields, not just the face
Oh,
masks.
right.
And that's for the protection of patients as well as for the employees.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, by offering those features with the masking, with the social distancing, with the waiting room option, so that it's called a virtual waiting room, you don't have to sit in the centers. We've also separated out chairs. So just like many airlines are planning on doing, where they're not occupying the middle chair, we're moving chairs so that there's actually a 6-foot distance between two people.
Yeah. So some of the many changes that you've had to make it work. And it's an interesting way to look at things these days. And I wonder what it's going to be like when other things start to open, because I think we're super conscientious of this now, which, I've always been kind of a germaphobe anyway. So
Right.
it's nothing new, but now when we go to the restaurants and things like that, it is going to be different. So that's good that you've made it really comfortable for our community, because we do have a high risk community. And I think that's really good to know. And I'm glad that you're able to be here to tell us what you're doing and that you are open and that people do not need to be afraid.
Thank you so much. Yes, we love Laguna Woods. We've had a long relationship with you, and we want your safety as well as ours. So we're not going to do anything to jeopardize that. So
Excellent.
Rest assured, you're in good hands.
Excellent. Well, Karen, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, we want you guys to be healthy and safe, and we'll get through this. Together we will.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be right back after this.